thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be working in my sketchbook on a summer landscape with sunflowers in the foreground, and I'm going to be using my Neocolor II water-soluble wax pastels for my initial sketch. And I'm going to activate my colors with the water brush. Then I'm going to add some details with some colored pencils, and I'm also going to try my acrylic markers that I recently received for my birthday. I haven't had much of a chance to work with them, but I thought I might experiment a little bit. So I started by just drawing a really simple line sketch for the outline of the landscape, and I'm coming in with crayons and filling in color a little bit more. I'm going to be blending the color directly on the paper. So I layered some darker blue over the lighter blue. I'm using a sketchbook that has a little bit of an ivory cream paper, so sometimes it's hard to get skies just right, and the light blue doesn't show up really well. So that's why I'm layering the color and adding some darker colors to the top of the sky. When we look at a sky, either in person or in photographs, you'll notice that usually it's darker at the top of the sky than it is once it gets a little bit closer to the horizon line. I'm using a water brush, and this is a brush that has water in the handle, and you squeeze the handle and the water comes out, and it turns the crayon marks into watercolor paint. I also have a palette next to me. It's a textured palette, also by the same company that makes the water-soluble wax pastels, and you can color directly on the palette and activate the color with the water brush, and it turns it into a watercolor paint right on your palette. So I like to use the Caran d'Ache Neocolor IIs in different ways. I do like to blend directly on the paper, but I also like to add some color to the palette to create some color mixing and just come up with some different effects. I really love working with the Neocolor IIs because I feel like they allow me to be a little bit more spontaneous whenever I'm creating in my sketchbook, and they're very flexible and they're actually very forgiving. If you put a mark down that you don't like, when you add the water to it, you can move that color around, you can lift it with a paper towel, you can use the crayons in a lot of different ways. And so it's really is one of my favorite art supplies to use. So I'm going to continue adding value, adding layers, adding details, and I hope that you'll stay with me to the end so that you can see my finished painting, and I hope that you enjoy watching my process as I create this summer landscape with sunflowers. And I hope that it inspires you to create your own simple summer landscape.